Donnie Houston.
Subscribe to Donnie Houston podcast, man. Yeah, man, it's going down. It's Donnie Houston podcast. I am Donnie Houston. Check it out, man. We got a special guest, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm really excited about this. You know what I'm saying? We've been trying to do this for a little minute. And, hey, man, you know what I'm saying? Northside legend, Swishahouse legend. You know what I'm saying? Color Changin Click, Boss Hogg Outlawz, all that. You know what I'm saying? Say, man, 50-50 twin. What's going down, right?
Oh man, coolin', Donnie, coolin', man. I'm glad to be sitting on the infamous couch, man. You know what I mean? I've seen a lot of stars come through, H-Town legends, man. It's an honor to be here, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. What's good, man?
Man,
back home, welcome home.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna say freedom is good. You know what I mean? And I was on what they call a turnaround. You know what I mean? A dude who had a bunch of time told me, "Don't tell nobody when you get out." You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't handle that; they get jealous. But the short turnaround that I made was 11 months, basically a year. But it rejuvenated me. You know what I mean? And I say freedom is good. I appreciate the opportunity of being able to make things happen, make shit happen, like my boy Ryder say. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. So what you been doing since you been home, man?
Oh man, I've been home for 3 weeks, and I've recorded my 2 singles. One is called "Ambitions of a Rolls Royce Rider" that I wrote in my cell. I was thinking about Pac, but I went futuristic with it, and then represent that double R. You know what I mean? Logo, rock for rock. You know what I mean? But that's it's basically a motivational song, and then I got 100,000 where I went back to my Kappa days and implemented my super fly guy. You know what I'm saying? So I got the 2 singles. I'm working on the EP Hollywood 50. I got in a small film with JD Demerson and Colleen. You know what I mean? That was part of my goals inside, so it manifested the week I got out. You know, I played a small role in the movie because that's something I want to get into, acting. And I also have it's a movie called Parole Money 2 that's coming out with Raheem. I'm gonna be in part 3, so I want to do the acting. I'm writing and just writing my scripts. Hollywood 50, you know.
Hollywood 50 for sure,
yes,
for sure. Well, man, tell me, man, how long? You know, what part of the North Side are you exactly from? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm from Northwest Side. I say Northwest because it's like North Side. I love it, man. You know what I'm saying? And but Northwest is more so Tidwell, 290, Antoine, Gulfbank. I'm Gulfbank. That's where we started the Hollywood clique. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I started Hollywood clique. Gulfbank was a street. It was a street that had so many stars. Slim Thug stayed on Gulfbank. J-Dog stayed on Gulfbank. Lil Mario stayed on Gulfbank. Me and my brother was on Gulfbank. Michael Watts first sold Swishahouse tapes on Gulfbank. So being that here you had it's somewhat the suburbs where you got 2-story houses and golf course. You got us hyperactive, you know what I'm saying, street thugs right here around the corner, you know what I'm saying, and we had a classy hustle. I compared it to Harlem, but I called it Hollywood because we had a bunch of potential on that block, Gulfbank and Antoine, down to the bricks, you know what I'm saying, 9601. Yes, sir.
Okay, so what age is this, and like how old are you, like when you seeing Slim and J-Dog and all that? Was that later on in life?
Man, the peculiar thing is in 7th grade, me, Paul, and Cam, we went to Cook, and we was a rap group in 7th grade, and
you, Paul, and Chamillionaire.
Me, Paul, and Chamillionaire, and me, Paul, and Chamillionaire, we were a group in 7th grade. Chamillionaire used to draw our covers, and we had aspirations of doing this, and I got us kicked out. You know what I mean? I was stealing and breaking and shit. You know, 12 years old. You know, I thought I wanted to be a robber and all that. I got kicked out, so it made me switch school districts. And there I was in 8th grade with Trey the Truth and Slim Thug. So moving forward, actually I've known Slim, Trey, Paul Walker, Chamillionaire all since 7th, 8th grade. So it was phenomenal. It was crazy to see us grow up and look at each other like, man, we've been doing this. We actually been pursuing this. I'm gonna say that. Yeah.
So at that age, you say y'all was a rap group.
Yeah, 12 years old.
What were you listening to at the time that was making you want to rap and all that?
Man, it wasn't what made me want to rap. It's what made me want to be a gangster. Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg came on the Swishahouse show, man. I had a pretty little cutie, and Snoop Dogg came on the Swishahouse show. He had the Toronto Maple Leafs and all that. And he was so gangster. I went to school and done that shit. Broke up with my girl. I thought that's what gangsters do. She was like, you acting different today. But Snoop Dogg made me want to rap. You know what I mean?
What grade is that for you?
That was 12. That was 7th grade. Snoop Dogg made me want to rap.
Hmm.
Yeah. Snoop Dogg, I can say that. And let me see. My T. Jones didn't let us really listen to rap, so we didn't have rap tapes. I would catch stuff on the radio, DJ Magic Mike, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Every now and then I would hear some Ghetto Boys. Shout out to the Ghetto Boys, Willie D. Scarface. You know what I mean? But for the most part, Snoop Dogg, real talk.
No shit. So what is your brother doing at this time? Is he trying to get into rap too, or he on some other shit doing his own thing?
My brother, I don't think so. Cause we was young thieves, man. We used to just see T. Jones couldn't afford the design and the stuff that the other kids had at this diverse school in Sci-Fi District, if you get what I'm saying. So we couldn't afford the Tommy and the Polo, all that. So we used to go find a way to get it. But so more so, I didn't start writing until Chamillionaire said, man, what you gonna call yourself? He used to loop beats off of 97.9. And then he would loop the beats and play them in the voicemail, and that's how we would record. That was our first recorder, the voicemail. It was a tape. And he said, what you gonna call yourself? I said, I'm gonna call myself Lil Stash and Shorty. You know what I mean? And he called himself Payroll. He still is to this day. Paul Walker called himself Overflow. And Razak called himself Midnight Thug. So, you know what I mean? We had charisma back then.
So your brother didn't rap, it was just you rapping?
He didn't. But fast forward the tape, Kedrick James, KID, shout out to KID. My brother came home and said a rap. This is fast forward to 9th grade. And he spit the rap, but we was tough critics on each other. So he was like, check out this flow that KID said. We called him Chris. And he said the rap, I was like, oh, that boy go hard. And then my brother was like, nah, I wrote it. So it challenged me to go harder, you know what I mean? When my brother came home and picked up his writing, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay, so then y'all both start writing.
Yeah, and so what happened was we were in school. We in 9th grade. We met a CEO named Carlos Fields from Unified Records. This was 1997, maybe 96, and we weren't old enough to sign a record contract, but he heard about our talent, and he came and asked my mom could he sign us to his label or whatever, and she was like, no, they need to focus on school, but eventually. Once again, we wanted to rob and sell weed. We got kicked out. So
this y'all in 9th grade doing this shit?
Man.
Y'all what y'all robbing for?
Hey, what I say? I put a nigga. No. Play dirty. I worked my way up to manager and robbed them hoes. You know what I'm talking about? So really, what I was emphasizing was we had to go get it. You know what I mean? But as far as what we was robbing for, the payola. You know what I'm saying? And I was never the type to go up with you with a pistol and say, give it here. That one, I want an armed robber. But as you see, my brother got 45 years, been doing 23 on that. We gonna get to that. But so boom, in 9th grade, you know, my brother came, you know, he was doing that, and
So your brother was always on robbery.
Yeah, he was. But as far as Carlos Fields, Unified Records was our first label. He done a compilation. And then we were performing at Los Magnificos shows, things of this nature, you know what I'm saying, with Rashid, Dope House, you know what I'm saying, over here in the Hispanic culture. But also, Fields would go get his album screwed and chopped from Watts. So...
Are y'all 50-50 twins this time?
Yeah. 50/FIFTY. And he gave us the name. He was like, we'll call y'all 50-50. You know what I mean? And
so you 50 and he's FIFTY?
Yeah. But Watts changed it to two numbers when he put it on the tape. So we started going with that. But Unified Records was first, and then Watts, AD from Swishahouse, Big Mark, and Lil Yo. They invited me over. I rode with AD, and at age 16, I got on Final Chapter 96 with Watts. So we was teenagers jumping off the porch, handspring tuck. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we was hustling everything.
No shit. Okay, no shit. So who? So wait. So who all at Swishahouse when you get over there?
Man, J-Dog and Thug was ringing bells. We in high school, Slim pulling up in drops, AD pulling up in Lincolns, you know what I'm saying, Mario pulling up in Lax. I said, man, I want some of this, you know what I mean, because they was more advanced, I admit, because they was in this Acres Home community in the streets. I'm over here 290 Titwell, but not necessarily seeing what they seeing. But it was J-Dog, it was Slim, it was Tyke, it was Lil Pat, it was Big Pick. I used to be intimidated by Big Pick because you never know how hard he was going to go. Chamillionaire and Paul wasn't there yet. It was Al Bolden, Blindside. Magno and Mike wasn't there yet. Archie Lee, one of the first, you know what I mean? So, yeah, it was deep. Them boys had potential. They was all hustlers, too. For real. Hustlers rapping, you know what I mean? It was different from the day. Now you got rappers who portray this. We was mostly hustlers rapping. We had to put up the block to go to Watts. When he called, that was a what do they call it? A sacrifice. Cause we'll miss some money to go be heard. You know what I mean? Yeah, Watts was a safe haven for real. Like Screw Zoo was to the south on the cool. With all due respect, rest in peace, Screw Zoo.
So you was more closer because you came in with like AD, like you say. That was more so who you was closer with. Cause I know it was like crews inside of, you know what I'm saying, the house and shit. You know what I'm saying, like.
Yeah, you're right about that. Big Tyke, Big Pig, Al Bolden, Blindside, they more so, you know, hung together. Archie Lee, you know what I mean? I forgot about my boy Sad Warfare, Lester Roy. I'm forgetting some people, you know what I'm saying? But me, J-Dog, Mario, and Slim always been a private genius. He ain't really hang with cliques, you know. Rest in peace, Stelsel, but Stelsel was his boy when Stelsel passed away. You know what I mean? Slim, you know, basically, I don't know. Maybe that was who he was supposed to come in the game with. And as far as I know, they was rap partners. But Slim always been like a colonel. He hung, but he fucked with everybody. But me, J-Dog, Mario, we was coming from the Bricks and Gulf Bank, so we actually knew each other. AD being from Acres Home, we actually knew each other. So it was real. It was real. Yeah.
Man, so okay, what's okay, after you do that tape, what's the next tape you do after this one you came in talking about doing?
The Hollywood 50?
No, at Swishahouse.
Oh, the Unified Records. Oh, hold up. After Final Chapter 96.
Was it 96 or 90? It had to be 98, huh?
No, it was Final Chapter 96. I was 16. I remember I was telling my boy Lil Pat, Big Tyke brother, he was 12 years old when I first met him. You know what I mean? So it was Final Chapter 96. And after that, the way we knew we was gonna be on the tape is only when it came out. Cause if Watts didn't like your flow, you just wouldn't be on there. You know what I mean? But when I heard myself, went to Select Sounds and saw 50-52 on the tape, it gave me more aspirations. But the next tape was that I Ride, Drop, Stretch STS, while calling chest with David Taylor. Crawling truck is an Escalade, take a trip upstairs on the escalator. Bodyguard is the big bad Vader. Candy you eat, eat a 9 later. Cook up my tape, serve it like a waiter. Newborns raising the roof in their cradle. You know what I'm saying? That was that Shut Up beat. I forgot what tape it was. But that's when I knew why I say, man, this boy got talent. I'm gonna start calling him more. And it was very appreciated by me.
Yeah, now that's a classic 50-50 freestyle.
Yes,
man,
sir.
okay, take me up, because, okay, we got to do this one, man. You know what I'm saying? It's that 50-50 twin.
Got an anaconda skin in my bins. Peep game through Fendi lens. Pass me the damn ink pen. As the ink started to drop out, even more harder phrases leak out. D-cock beat out her teeth from her mouth every time she choose to speak out. Wreck the mic, it's my intention. I'm shooting dice with Chelsea Clinton. 20-inch chops without extension. On the block look like a Tybo convention. Gulf Bank is the place. Princess cut in my shoelace. If I hold a white cup and I seem fucked up, drink is what I waste. Hey, hold up. Yeah. Hey, I was telling my bro Trail, man, that was the verse that I didn't like the most, but it was the one people liked the most.
No shit?
Yeah, I was tipping too slow. J-Dog switched up my rhyme patterns, because me and my brother used to rap fast, like Do or Die. We was Twister fans and Do or Die fans, you know, after Snoop. And one day I'm on the court in Garden City, and we spitting flows, and J Dog was like, "Man, why y'all rap so fast?" So I tried to slow it down, and my slowdown became like a melodic type thing. That's why that battle up, I'm like, "Screams fall like rain," while my J Dog did that. You know what I'm saying? And it helped. But you know, we really came out tongue twisting like Twister, real talk.
Man, okay. Talk about man, what ended up happening? Because your brother ended up getting locked up before you did that freestyle. Or after you did that freestyle.
My brother got locked up right around the time when I done Big Ball and Shot Calling, because Mario hit me like, "Hey, Watts want us to come get on this song," and
Speaking of, I gotta have you sign this, man.
already.
Revolution, man.
Yes, sir. What have we? Man, hold up, he got the throwback.
Yeah.
Bro got the throwback. But yeah, man, the Big Ball and Shot Calling, I had just performed that, and that night, me and Mario couldn't find my brother. Once again, I put up the block to go, and my brother was somewhere out on the block, you know. And around that time, I remember him. I didn't know he was in the streets. I didn't know he was in the streets, so to speak, doing his thing, hitting licks or whatever. And I didn't know what my brother was the night that we recorded, but when he heard me on the radio, it was in jail. You know what I mean? For real. And it messed him up because he saw that I was being disciplined. I didn't drink. I didn't smoke. I even used to ask him, "What cigarettes do for you?" I was a disciplined teenager. You know what I mean?
No shit.
Yeah.
You wasn't doing nothing at the time.
I wasn't doing nothing. We was helping T.
No
Joe.
syrup, nothing.
None of that. I didn't want to alter my frame. I thought it was Robert De Niro. You know what I'm saying? I was motivated by Marvel movies, so I knew one thing, that the bosses didn't get messed up. So I had that mind frame, and the big homies put me in position to get some money, and I didn't want to let them down either. But I didn't do anything until after my brother got locked up.
So your brother, but he was getting down though.
Yeah, I think he was smoking Dipset because he was already hitting licks, and that's a drug that robbers. You know, we from the street. That's a drug that robbers smoke. You know what I mean? So he was hitting licks.
What is it about dip that make you want to rob? What is that shit? What mindset does that put you?
It give you courage. It give you courage, but you have an altered mind frame where, let's say, if you walk in a parking lot, you may see a slab or you may see something that's not yours, and you feel like you wide open. It's a chance to get it. The people whose car it is might be watching you from their window. They might have cameras inside their blinds, anything. You get your top pop. But Dipset is a hallucinogen, and it also tell you things that ain't so. So a lot of people have caught cases on dip and woke up incarcerated, including myself. And you know what I'm saying? That was an intervention for me. That's why I could talk about it. You know what I mean? Like it's not what's up, and they got my brother 45 years. And
so what ended up happening?
Okay, he already done 23 years on his sentence, so I could talk about it. He was with 3 other friends, and they had already been doing their thing, and they thought let's go try a hotel. You know what I mean? And my brother saw a guy carrying a briefcase and figured that guy was carrying some money, and he got out and ran up on the guy. And when the guy tried to reach for his gun, he popped him, and the dude struggled for the gun with his adrenaline, and he shot my brother in the hip. And when he shot my brother in the hip, my brother fell, and he shot him in the head. And the bullets grazed his head. So when 3 other guys heard the gunshots, they backed up the car and pulled the man and rushed him to Parkway Hospital on Tidwell. And I got a call that night, and when I woke up, I was holding my hip in my head. My BM told me. And when I went to the hospital, you know, twins feel each other. We're identical. And when I went to the hospital, he was handcuffed to the bed already. And the police officer there, he thought he saw a ghost. He was like, he jumped when he saw me. He was like, "You gotta go." You know what I mean? And from that day on, I started tripping. I became him. I became him.
What was it that made you like click like that?
Oh, but because me and my twin, we was close. We didn't just hang up on each other all the time, but we was close. I could be squabbling somebody and he pop up out the blue. It's happened twice. Or we just rock like that. And but what made me click is it's scientific fact, it's biological fact, or whatever. But when twins are separated, it caused confusion with one of the twins, especially identical twins. So his absence made me trip out. You know what I'm saying? That loneliness or whatever that shit called. You know what I mean? But
You remember the first time you was like, man, fuck it, I'm finna go hit the dip. I'm finna go do my thing. I'm finna.
yeah, hell yeah. One day DMX was talking, and he said he went to hit a lick, and he remembered the dude who let him hit weed with crack in it as a teenager, and it fucked up his life. Well, I was with a partner. Once again, I wasn't smoking no dip. I had to be like 24, 25, handling my business. I was signed to Mad Hatter, and
Oh, this is later on.
yeah. I was 24 when I first hit. I ain't smoke cigarettes, do that. I used to sip Hennessy and probably smoke Cohiba. But I was walking with my boy Garcia to scope some dip. I used to scope Strax. I used to come out to Reed Road to Jailhouse and scope Strax. But one day my partner who wanted something so bad asked me to tap, but it was the greatest form of manipulation. He was like, man, just check it out. I promise it ain't gonna. And when I did, I went home and wrote a rap like Superman. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, damn, every now and then I might just tap this to enhance my flows. And that became a habit. Yeah. Don't get high off your own supply. That's one of the biggie rules. You know what I mean?
Man, okay, back at Swishahouse. So you ain't no dip at Swishahouse at the time.
No dip at Swishahouse on everything. That catch me at the Kappa. I'm a Kappa.
Talk
stop.
about that, because I was finna go with
That Kappa flow,
yeah.
I can say, you know what I'm saying, to all the Kappas out there, you know what I mean? I ain't no sorority, but man, I was the voice of the Kappa Beach, being that catch me at the Kappa. And another one with me and Mike, I would hate to get blood on your Air Force Twos. You know what I'm saying? Me and Mike Jones. We was the voice of the Kappa. Coming down the seawall, that's all you heard. Catch me at the Kappa, catch me at the Kappa. That's all you heard. So that in itself was promotion to me. Even Watts paid us, but that in itself was a promotion for me to spring off of and say, man, my name ringing bells. And you know, and that's when I started my Rock for Rock label. You know what I mean?
So okay, when does cause you get over there before Paul and Cam, right?
Yeah, I did.
But you already knew them from middle school.
Yeah.
So what happened when they come over there and y'all all get back together and shit like that?
Man, it was like back to the future. It was like fast forward into the future. Paul and Cam walked in with some braids. Paul had on a Cash Money jacket. He used to promote for Cash Money. Cam is Chamillionaire. Paul is Paul Wall to the viewers. But man, they had this presence about themselves, rocking their Reeboks. Where he say, "I'm rocking Reeboks with these white." You know what I'm saying? That was Cam. Cam had a Andre 3000 type presence. Paul, you know what I'm saying, he had a Woody, you know what I'm saying, he had a down south presence. They were slugged up, and I was like, man, hold up. And they wasn't Paul Wall and Chamillionaire when we left, when we separated, but we got on that Catch Me at the Kappa flow. And that right there it took off. It had Lou Hawk on it. And Watts just started having to put us on different songs, and he would every now and then group us up. But it was crazy. It was crazy seeing Broskis again, man. And I thought to myself, on your podcast, on this platform, I wanted to say, one day I tripped out on my boy Cam on Instagram. You know what I mean? And I talk family business, and I just want to say, man, we always family, and I apologize about that to my boy Cam, Chamillionaire, man. I learned a lot of game from Broski, square business. Yeah.
Man. Already, that's real.
Yeah,
that's real, man. Man, talk about going to that Kappa though, man. Like when y'all was at, Swishahouse and y'all at the Kappa and y'all running the Kappa and all that, man. If you could take me back to somebody who never been to the Kappa, you know what I'm saying? If you could close your eyes and say, look, this is what the Kappa was like when we was there.
Hey, okay, one Kappa, on one of my flows, I said, I ain't gonna lie, I missed the block. I probably could have sold a whole bird rock for rock. At one Kappa, I intentionally stayed on the block because I knew everybody was at the Kappa. So I probably had a $3,000 weekend as a teenager. But as far as the Kappa, when I went with Ray Face, this is when I was with Boss Hogg Outlawz.
Because you go to Boss Hogg after Swishahouse?
Yeah, Boss Hogg after Swishahouse. After Boss Hogg, it was Color Changin Click. So I was like LeBron's, you know what I'm saying? I'm switching teams and I'm getting the rings. But going with Boss Hogg, they gonna show you how to ball. Slim had a rule. The bitch couldn't talk to us if she wasn't fucking. She either be body or look and keep trucking. That's the click motto when we up in the place. But I was with Ray Face in the blue drop, you know what I mean? And Slim had the excursions. It was toys out. I'm talking about 7, 8 toys, blue line. But one year I went with Mad Hatter. This was with Paving for Records. Shout out to Mad Hatter. Shout out to Cat. You know what I'm saying? Crazy C on my beats. Drake Tover. But I'm with them. I sipped some drink and I popped a tab and I fell asleep the whole Kappa with a chick on side of me. You know what I mean? At that Kappa, I woke up and the Kappa was over. I felt like Lil Weezy, man. Swear business. Yeah.
Okay, so
Weezy, I rocks with you, boy.
okay, what made you leave Swishahouse and go to talk about Mike Jones before you left there, because you was still there when Mike Jones got there. Talk about when Mike Jones got there.
MJ, I call him MJ. You know, Mike from Studiowood, but he was staying on Titwell. You know what I mean? And we already was rapping with Serve Factory. It was like a slow. It's only one screw. So it was a slow tape type thing. DJ Marco Polo used to do, and Mike Jones, me and my brother, we was doing that. We was always, you know what I'm saying, busy. Like we was grinding as teenagers. So I knew Mike already, and when he came, man, his presence was different. It's like even though he would say his name, nobody knew to promote themselves like that. You know what I'm saying? Promote themselves like that. And Mike was the first to do that. He's a marketing genius. And when Still Tipping got remixed, or you know what I'm saying, or revitalized, that boy presence about made it live. You know what I'm saying? It was originally a Slim Thug flow, but him, Mike, and Paul, they done their thing. You know what I mean? But Mike was charismatic. One thing I like about Mike is he never claimed to be your gangster, not at all. He never claimed to be that. He knew rap is what he loved to do. He loved to hoop. He'll cross your ass over and drop you off. But rap is what he loved to do, and that's what I loved about Mike. He promoted his music and he was player with it. And still to this day, Mike has always kept it real. He look out for my brother. He done hollered at my brother plenty of times. I was stranded in California. This is a story I'm finna put y'all on. I had a chick from the UK. You know what I'm saying? And we got disgruntled and wasn't feeling each other. And I told my brother to give me a flight, but my brother Craig booked the flight wrong, so I was stranded at LAX. And I always pray when I'm in situations, and I'm like, damn, I'm tapped. I ain't got the funds. Some told me walk this way. You know what I'm saying? I prayed, and the Holy Spirit told me walk this way, or whatever people call it. And I seen somebody mugging me. I got blue, yellow, white diamonds in my mouth, and blue, yellow, and this dude got diamonds, but I'm not seeing this often in California. So I'm like, now it's not the time to be flexing in California, but it was Mike Jones. And the same lady that was capping with me, you know what I'm saying, at the counter, Mike was like, hey, this is an important rapper from Houston. I need him on the next flight out of here. And she was like, Mr. Jones, you always late, you know what I'm saying, shooting your movies. I was like, damn, Mike do this everywhere he go. He know. So boom, he was like, when the next first class flight up out of here? She said, we got one coming out. He said, swipe my card. You know what I'm saying? And Mike was just like that. If he can look out for you, he will. He always been like that. So that's broski. But Swishahouse, his presence was well felt. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that's real as hell, man.
Yeah, that's broski.
Oh, shit.
He had to pay like $600 for that first class. You know what I mean?
Oh, shit. Okay, so what made you go from Swishahouse to Boss Hogg?
To be honest, Watts never forced us to sign contracts, nothing like that. You know what I mean? And the big ball and shot calling, that was a privilege. You know what I mean? And
can you talk about that verse real quick?
The big ball and shot calling. Okay, when I went to do the song, I was with Yobi. Yobi is Yobi Bryant. That's Lil Mario. And Big Time, shout out to Big Time. He said, Twin, I want you and Yobi to sing the hook. And that's when we was like, big ballin', shot calling, bumper falling, 20 inches crawling, bopper still calling. So that momentum was the style at that time in 98. It was the ballin' era. I'm from the bling era. So boom, Sad Warfare, shout out to my bro Sad Warfare. He had a verse. It was me, Tyke, Big Pig, AD, and I forgot the dude's name on the 6th verse. But Lil Mario too. But Sad Warfare verse was on there. And I was just gonna be on the hook, but Sad Warfare say, "No, take me out, put Twin on there." So me, I don't care what nobody say, man. I invented drip. I invented drip. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm like, I say, I'm 20 inches off the ground, 3 from the curb. Valet that Red Lobster. So I'm eating Mockingbird. Boys didn't understand my Candy Ralph Lauren van. I could catch pneumonia from the ice that's on my hand. Be so cold like Timberland, trunk be waving like a hand. I'm shooting dice with Donald Trump, Bill Gates, and Ed McMahon. I practice what I preach like a leech is how I crowd. Like the shit under my dick, all I do is ball. Like a roller coaster, I be sitting sideways. Wood strip on their cage like Wesley Snipe, I got blaze. Twin and Lil Yo, short nigga standing tall. Be down the block making refrigerators fall. You know what I'm saying? I had to clip Youngster for a piece of his, but Young, that's my boy. What's up, Young? You know what I'm saying? But at that time, the way I came on the verse, man, everybody wrecked. But for some reason, my verse was just so memorable. People were like, man, this boy here. You know what I'm saying?
Eating Mockingbird.
Yeah, man. Straight up, man. So I used to mix theatrics, metaphors, and all this outrageous shit, you know what I'm saying, in my flows. You know what I mean? It's like with me and Flip on the Ballin' is a Habit. I was like, Louis Vuitton, pardon me, son, what time will my car be done? The same week, no lie, Flip pulled up with Burberry at the bottom of his Jaguar. After losing, I said, damn, Flip really, when I looked at the Master P, we ride tight whips and he Gucci helicopter. And then Cameron had the Burberry car cover. Flip the first to do it. On the cool. That Gucci insides and all that. Flip the first person to do it. Shout out to Flipperachi, man.
Really shout out to Flip for sure.
Yes, sir.
For sure. Man, okay, so why you say you end up going to Boss Hogg?
Okay, I ended up going to Boss Hogg because Ray Face, that's big bro. Ray Face gave me the game. Ray Face had got out of prison, and Ray Face is a genius businessman. And he was like, who these twins I'm hearing about on the bank? You know, and Ray Face, he a big homie. You know what I'm saying? He was, you know, I heard stories about Ray Face been getting it. But he said, we're gonna start the Boss Hogg Outlawz. It was me, my brother, PJ, the rap hustler, it was Slim, and it was J-Dog. Man, I looked at us like the H-Town Hot Boys, because everybody was hustling, everybody had their own individuality, everybody name ringing bells in the streets already, and we started it. And Watts, he had the blueprint to get money with the stores, so we all linked up, and that Batter Up freestyle, the Shining Stars, that's all you heard when we done it. Now the first one was a Hot Boy beat. Chopper, Cocker, Trunk, Papa, STS, Hopper, Sunday day on Swingers, Saturday on Chopper. But when Ray Face started that, we just took off with the Boss Hogg Outlawz. And I like being over there because it had a street essence. And then Ray Face gave me the game. One day he said, man, record 23 songs and come holler at me when you're done. And I recorded those 23 these undergrounds, and we recorded them. And he said, how you want your cover to look? He said, what you gonna call it? I said, I'm gonna call it MOE. You know what I mean? Money over everything. He went on the computer, he graphic designed it, put a ladder going up some money. We put it out. That CD had Chamillionaire, Charlie Boy, Freestyle Kings, so many people. But Ray Face showed me business. He showed me that my talent could pay me even more, because he knocked on my door one day. I said, who is it? It's me, fool. That's his favorite word. And he must have counted out like 9,000-10,000 on the table and left. And said, I'm gonna call you in a few. So if he counted 9,000, I can't imagine the bread that we was making. You know what I mean? And he gave me the game, and I put that towards other Rock for Rock CDs, well, other Rock for Rock, you know, albums. So I just kept flipping it, and I went to get my DBA and started Rock for Rock.
Yeah. Oh shit. Okay, so
Sir Daly, I forgot about Sir Daly, man. Rock for Boss Hogg, and Duty. Yeah.
Man, so okay, you do Boss Hogg, but why you end up leaving Boss Hogg and then going to Color Changin?
If I recall, an incident happened. You know what I mean? These my brothers. It's past tense, but Ray Face always gave me a position of authority in business, and he let me run the store on Exchanging Sounds. We had it was Exchanging Sounds, and then it was Platinum Sounds. But honestly, some funds came up missing in the register, and at this time I didn't do drugs, I didn't even smoke weed, but I didn't understand who lied and said I took the funds, but I honestly didn't. And it's kind of like somebody telling you did when you didn't. But I mean, I really didn't, so it fucked me up. You know what I mean? If I did, I'd be like, I'm a whole ass dude for lying this good, but I really didn't. So Cam and Paul offered me, you know, they mentioned me coming to do a jump down with color Changin Click and restart what we started in 7th grade or whatever, and that's why I was reluctant to do it, because this situation had happened. But that ain't no shade toward the camp, because Ray Face still let me work at Platinum Sounds. He put me at another store. You know what I mean? But that's why I did that. And over here with Paul and Cam, they it's like being rocking with Cam and Paul. It helped my writing skills a little bit. Over here, I'm straight on some D-boy shit, on some street shit. Over here, I'm on some creative shit. So I brought my street essence to them, and they brought their creativity to me. And it was live, because we was ringing bells too. Yeah, Water Boys, man. Shout out to Paul Wall and Chamillionaire, Lou Hogg, rest in heaven. You know what I mean? Shout out to Young Ro, straight up.
While I was doing color Changin Click, man, talk about you remember, you got any like favorite times when you was like on the road with all them and everything?
Yeah, okay. In the song Riding Dirty, Cam say, twins stay twisting like hit this dro. Police get behind us, it's in his throat. One day we was riding and we was dropping off CDs, doing shows, and we all had money on us, but we was at the borderline of Arkansas or something else. But the Outlawz pulled us over, and me and Young Ro was smoking, and Kayla was driving, Chamillionaire was in the front seat, and me and Young Ro right here, and it's smoke in the car. Chamillionaire do not like smoke around him. He don't like none of that extra shit. And so boom, I already felt like, damn, we bro don't even do this and we smoking. But the Outlawz got behind us. So Cam was like, dog, you know what I'm saying? And but I had pulled Wild Out Magic, and I spit in my hand, put the cigar out, and put it right here. So when when we let down the window, I'm talking to the police. You know what I'm saying? When he asking us questions, I don't talk to police, but he asking questions that, you know, where y'all getting the money from? They took us out to call it, but when we pulled off, I spit it out and showed Cam. You know what I mean? And he was like, dog, how'd you do that? You know, but it was different times on the road where it shocked me, the people that acknowledged us. You know what I mean? Killer Mike, Lil Jon, the Like a Pimp video shoot with David Banner. These people respected Paul and Cam, and I was grateful to be a part of what they were doing, because they had the Get Your Mind Correct album. So I can't say it was solely my presence that had us there. It was them, and they included me. But one of the craziest things is when Lou Hogg came out of the hotel room and he grabbed a fire extinguisher, and Paul was walking to his room, and Lou Hogg had spot checked to see where he was at. And he was like, meet me. And then when Paul came, Lou Hogg sprayed his ass with the fire extinguisher. Paul was hot. He had the fire, the stuff all over. But we had a bunch of good times, man, for real. Yeah. Cam, super businessman. He paid us every show. He definitely a businessman. He gonna give you the game for free $99, but you gotta pay attention. Yeah.
Man, you talked about paid in full. I didn't know you got signed to paid in full. How did that whole thing happen?
Yeah. But the paid in full thing happened. Paul and Cam was with paid in full. They was working on the Get Your Mind Correct album, and it was inevitable that I came over, because a Water Boys album was destined to be made, and so that's when Hatter signed me, and I done my Grown Man Style album. But the Water Boys album never got completed. It was some discrepancies or whatever, disagreements. So that's when Paul and Cam, they done their thing, and then I got with Cam on the Army CD, the Chamillionaire movement, and Paul went over to Swishahouse. But Mad Hatter, cool people. I learned a lot from Mad Hatter. I learned a lot from the big homie Cat. Being on the road, he told us how to move. Cat still is he still travel with Paul on the shows. Big Cat. Myra. But I learned a lot from Mad Hatter, and it was one of my childhood dreams, because we actually started off looping beats from 97.9. So for us to be with one of the biggest names at 97.9, it was beyond a dream. You know what I mean? And we learned a lot about business. We learned, for one small thing that I suggest every artist do, Mad Hatter and Cat, when they listen to a mix, they would put it in a car and turn down all the bass and turn it down low. If you can still hear your vocals clear, that means that the song is mixed right. So I learned a bunch of things about recording over there. And my album was produced by Dre Tobin, one of the hottest producers in Houston. He's up there in Cali now, but I learned a lot the business from him. I learned a lot of production business from him. But as far as me dealing with distributors, distributing, shipping, packaging, using my funds to press and hit stores myself, I learned it from Ray Face and Chamillionaire. Yeah, we was whipping it and rock for rocking it.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. Tell me, cause you said paid in full. That's when you kind of start getting into the dip and all that type of stuff.
Yes, sir.
Man, how did that? I mean, how did that end up going? Cause I mean, you didn't end up going, staying with Cam or, with Paul or,
As far as that, hold on. Hey, I kind of prepared myself. What's the dude with the 5 Heartbeats? The motherfucker who started tripping because he fell off. David Ruckman. What's that? Trail. What's his name? David.
Eddie Kane.
Eddie Kane, motherfucking ass. Man, I became Eddie Kane. And I ain't know about Eddie Kane, but after I've heard that emphasis so many times, Eddie Kane, man, I was like, I don't want to be Eddie Kane. And that's what made me want to bounce back after getting out of prison. I'm not Eddie Kane, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, when I got on the dip, Paul and Cam didn't know, you know what I'm saying, because I was still productive. You know what I mean? And my physical attributes weren't showing that. I'm still jumping out of lakhs, 90 lakhs, all that. You know what I mean? J-Dog sold my first 2 cars, but I bought a 90 lakh on 5 swingers when I was 19. So and if not, my big homies who heavy in the streets got me in Lexus and drops. So people not knowing I'm on dip, and my fans definitely didn't know. But one day we was at a picture shoot, and we had a picture shoot with Mike Frost. Shout out to Mike Frost. And I was in the back seat, Razak and Cam in the front seat. We're in the color changing 929 or something on some Lauren Hearts or something. I'm descriptive because I remember details. But we were finna take a picture, and we had on black tees, and I felt like we should be fly, you know what I'm saying, on this other shit. And Cam was like, "Twin, it's not that type of album," you know what I mean? And I was like, well, fuck it, I'm not taking a picture. See, that was a Dipset infection. And Cam, he was like, "Dog, you bought Polar." He said, "I already know when you calm down, you're going to come apologize." Cam knew me, you know what I'm saying? We go back. So after I calmed down, I was like, walked up to the photo show like, "Man, I apologize, bro." You know what I'm saying? And that was the Chamillionaire. That's the inside of the Chamillionaire cover. But the Dipset gave me
and this is, you didn't want to do it because you said the dip. So what is the dip ahead you add? Because you owned it at the time, but that was just to.
Even when I wasn't on it, the side effects. It's like I didn't know my side effects, but when I was smoking the day before and go handle business, it would make me switch scripts on people and not know it. You know what I'm saying? And they be like, "Twin bipolar," but it was the dip. The dip had me tripping, and it happened with a bunch of people. It happened. Paul will tell you, it's happened with him before. Matt Hatter will tell you, it's happened with him before. It's happened with Cam. Thug will tell you. It's many times. Killer Corleone will tell you, I done tripped out on people that I look like as fam. You know what I'm saying? My mama tell you, my brother would tell you, you know what I'm saying? I done tripped out on that shit. And for the most part, when I learned self-control, as of now, I look back on all those things and I was like, man, I was tripping hard and I messed up a lot of business deals. Lost a deal with Universal for $600,000, you know what I mean? Because my street mentality, I came at my manager and I accused him of snagging one of my stores in Virginia on some street stuff. And he was like, "Man, this ain't how I operate, you know what I mean? I don't rock like that." And I lost a $600,000 deal with Universal like that. So, yeah, that dip ain't the business. It fucked off a lot of shit for me. Excuse me for cursing, it did.
Man, and how did it lead up? Did that played a part into you going to jail this last time?
Can I be quite frank?
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And one day I was riding in my Tahoe, and I crashed into a pole, and I thought it was a dream. And I walked in the house and I told my little dip I don't know where I parked the truck. And then I went to my partner's house, and he said, "Man, you just had a wreck." And I was like, "Hell nah." He got a chick on the phone, and she was like, "Yeah, Tahoe just ran head first into a pole." And I had a concussion and didn't even know it. I couldn't finish my sentences. And I'm thinking it's the dip, but I had a concussion, a major concussion. So, man, my broski just here with me today, he'll tell you, man. He was patient with me, my boy Trail Ryder. it's so many partners that held me down because they know my potential and never viewed me. They knew I had a problem. They knew I was tripping, and my loved ones knew I was tripping. But my support cast was strong because people know my potential and they know my natural heart. I'm giving, I grind, and you know what I'm saying, I'm a leader. But that dip, it was like the final call for alcohol. You know, when you finna leave the club, nigga, you gonna get your cup, sip it now. That's how God was with me. This your last call for alcohol as far as your potential go, and if you want to be successful, as far as age go, you know what I mean. And I said, you know what, man, this ain't me. My brother finna come home, and all these things start playing in my head, right? And I was on probation for a pistol. Somebody that broke in my house, and I was finna shoot their house up. But the somebody in the apartment called the police and said that, you know what I'm saying, they shot me with the pistol. My partner, my broski, had just gave me the gun. So when the police came, they saw the gun wasn't stolen. I told them, man, I'm in a hostile environment. These youngsters tripping. A white officer, that's why I don't do the white and black cop shit. He said, man, you'll be out tomorrow. He said, I understand. And I was out on probation, and I violated that probation, smoking dope, and that's how I ended up in prison. But man,
you violated probation because got caught on a drug test, or that was the car thing?
The drug test when I pissed dirty. And the lady even gave me a chance to go to a rehab, and I was at the rehab for like 3 or 4 days, and I walked out of there. And when the moment that I stepped out, I knew I was going to prison. When I walked out the door, I said, man, I'm going to prison. And I've been to state jail twice, never been in no situation where you gotta make parole. And I want to say this too to the youngsters or whoever, you know what I'm saying, who throwing rocks at the penitentiary. That's like throwing rocks is nicking your way up to the penitentiary. Your 3 misdemeanors gonna turn to a felony. Okay, when you're in prison, if you ain't chilling, they can write your dumb ass up, and 3 write-ups is a major. And these Africans, these different assholes, you know what I'm saying, white guard, racist guards, these people don't give a fuck about your freedom. So if you tripping, if you go in there with that egotistical shit, you won't come home, you do your whole sentence. That right there is what taught me discipline, because I was squabbling in the county. The county is like Cali right now. I had 6 squabbles in the county. You know what I mean? People probably want some, like Kiki said, because they want the title. Some people want to squabble 50-50, and some of it was me detoxing. But when I got to the pen, my brother wrote and said, bro, if you want to go home, chill out. And that right there made me realize I got to learn to control my emotions. I got to learn how to control my reactions. And that I did, and it's still with me today. So to y'all youngsters out there, man, that ain't the business, man. It's hard to come home when you get in there. You know what I mean? They smoking tune, they tripping, they out there chalupa. So it's hard to come home when you're around. When you're in the lion's den, you either become like your habitat, or you say, I need to figure out how to maneuver around this shit. And that's what I did. Because, you know what I'm saying? For the most part, the weakest link can have heart. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Man, what'd you say the word was on your brother? You said he was coming home pretty soon?
He come up for parole in 2.5 months. And for everybody looking, you know what I'm saying, holler at my brother, you know what I'm saying, Project Brown, 105-4309, you know what I'm saying, 12120 Savage Drive, Ferguson Unit, Midway, Texas, 75852. Shout out to my brother. He come up for parole in 2.5 months, and when they grant him the parole, he'll be home in June. And we gonna be a nostalgia. You know, I told the dude in prison, he wanted to make parole. I said, man, what clothes you wearing when you get out? And he was like, what you mean? I said, you got to visualize this shit. And 2 weeks later, he said, we make parole. But so I already see me and my brother as millionaires. So that's what gave me the confidence that I got, because I know we finna be successful. And I can now, you know what I'm saying, rock alongside of my boys who been handling their business. Paul, Cam, Mike, you know what I'm saying, Slim. That's what I'm supposed to be. I'm a H-Town legend, and I prefer people to put respect on my name. Man, ain't no bird, man. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I want back, and that's what I'm gonna get back. You know what I mean? And that's what got me here, bro. I appreciate you, 'cause this is a major platform, and for me to be on this couch, this is gonna be a part of my stepping stone, for real, bro. I appreciate it.
Man, I appreciate you, man. Like I say, I mean, you 50-50 twin, bro. This shit, you know what I'm saying? It's a big deal, man.
I appreciate that, man. And yeah, I like I say, you know, I rebrand myself with Hollywood 50, and I'm gonna still hashtag 50-50 twin. But it's the new generation. Every time they be like, somebody that know me might be like, man, you don't know who 50-50 twin is, and they all be like 50-50 20. And then if I tell them 50-50 twin, they were like, so it's two of y'all, so I get a whole interview off my name. But the Hollywood 50 thing, it come off the block, you know what I'm saying? We called it Hollywood, and I'm writing my scripts, I'm controlling my narrative, and I'm in control of my destiny now, so that's the Hollywood 50 thing. You know, I'm going to brand that, and definitely keep the 50-50 twin, but the Hollywood 50, it's Hollywood 50 IG, it's Hollywood 50 YouTube. You know what I mean? But Pandora, Spotify, all that, every digital outlet is 50-50 twin. You know what I mean? Shout out to my boy Dave. He finna get that spinning. You know what I'm saying? My albums that were out, I'm finna, you know what I'm saying, regenerate them, put them out. You know what I mean?
That's what it is, man. I appreciate you coming through, man.
Man, I appreciate it, Donnie Dunn. Hey, can I get some shout outs, man?
Yeah, go ahead, yeah.
Hey, I want to shout out to my female artist, Zay. You know what I'm saying? She with Why Not, Rock for Rock Records. My artist, Trouble D from Fifth Ward, is Willie D cousin, no name dropping. But he gonna be on the single, Rolls Royce Rider. You know what I mean? And thanks to all my supporters and fans out there, man. If I let you down, shit, I'm finna lift you up, straight up. And that's what it is. I appreciate you, Donnie. Shout out to my boy Ryder, Making Shit Happen Records. Holla at my boy 713 Ryder. You know what I'm saying, on IG. Holla at my boy Super Day. It's going down, then it's gonna bounce up, man. Yeah.
That's what it is, man. Hey, man. It's Donnie Houston Podcast. 50-50 twin, Hollywood 50. Hey, man, we up out of here.
Really.
Donnie Houston.
Subscribe to the Donnie Houston Podcast, man.